fast Korean. I'm like, whoa, guys, hold up a minute. Hey wonderful people, it's me Angie. I hope you are having an amazing day wherever you are. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about Talk to Me in Korean and how to get the most out of it, how to use it, how to maximize it. So let's get straight to it. Give this video a big thumbs up and share it with anyone if you think it will be useful to them. If you use Talk to Me in Korean and you have any advice, definitely comment it down below. This is a community. Let's help each other out so that people who are starting to learn Korean or starting to use this resource don't make the same mistakes that we did. So the first thing you need to do is to sign up to Talk to Me in Korean. Go to their website. I will link it down below and make an account. The next thing you need to do is consider how you are going to consume their content. You could do this through SoundCloud, through their own website, or through their app. Personally, I use their app. It's quick, it's easy, it's convenient. It's always there on my phone, so I can just click and listen to it. So the next thing you need to do to really maximize it is to make it part of your routine. Language learning playlists are amazing. Language learning podcasts are amazing. All of their resources are amazing. But if you are not being consistent, that is where you will find that you are stagnant. A lot of people, through communicating through the comments of my Korean in a week video, that's the issue they have. And if you integrate it into your routine, that will make it easier for you. I'm actually reading Atomic Habits right now, so this is very much linking. In my old routine, in my old school, I would listen to Talk to Me in Korean whilst waiting for the bus at the bus stop. So it meant that every day I knew I was going to wait for the bus. Every day I knew I could put it there. These days I'm at my vanity and I listen to Talk to Me in Korean in the morning when I'm doing my hair, doing my makeup, getting dressed, getting ready. If you integrate it into your routine, you will be consistent, and I can promise you that. Just try it for a week. Wait for it to be 3 weeks and you will realize, oh my gosh, I'm doing this all the time. The next thing you need to do when it comes to your Talk to Me in Korean journey is to make flashcards. They can be physical flashcards or digital flashcards. This is going against all my advice in any of my other study videos. I always tell you guys, download someone else's flashcards. But when it comes to Talk to Me in Korean, I think it's good to make your own flashcards purely because you're making that connection between what you've heard and what you're writing. You can obviously choose to go and find other people's ones on Quizlet, but I think it's a very good idea so that you can make that connection, the emotional connection, and it can help you to remember. Whether you choose to use Quizlet so you can turn it into a game, or you choose to use Anki so you can focus on spaced repetition, that is up to you, but it's a very good idea because I've realized probably when I got to level 4 that I was like, oh my gosh, I've consumed all of this stuff, but I haven't got any flashcards, so I can't go back to it unless I go and re-listen to the lesson. The next thing that you need to do when it comes to Talk to Me in Korean is to consider making sample sentences, which might sound a bit silly because they've already given you sample sentences, but it doesn't hurt. A lot of language learners and polyglots will tell you learning vocabulary in context is the best way to improve. And I totally agree. It's amazing they give you sample sentences, and I still make flashcards out of those sample sentences, but I think if you have the ability to make your own sample sentences, especially if they are relevant to your own life, that is amazing, because a top tip from my other language videos is to stick to relevant content. I always use this example of Spanish. When I did it in school, they were asking me to learn about things that I wasn't that invested in. But outside of school, I was learning Spanish of different like basic chemistry, physics, engineering stuff for science fairs. And I remember that Spanish, but I don't remember what I wasn't interested in. So make sure you make your Korean experience as specific to you as possible. The next thing to do is to possibly consider getting a Talk to Me in Korean textbook. So I know they just released their level 8 textbook, which is absolutely amazing, but you might not want to use their level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linear textbooks. They have a lot of other textbooks and phrase books which you might be able to consider. I may be making this up, but I'm quite sure it might be a quiz on their website, or it might be an actual YouTube video, but they help you work out what, I think it's a YouTube video. Either way, they can help you work out what textbook is best for you. And once again, language learning needs to be super personalized. You need to know what works for you, because just because I use this textbook doesn't mean you should use it. Just because Jemima and Felicia use that textbook doesn't mean you should use a textbook. You should use what works best for you. If you want a video explaining how to use textbooks to learn languages on your own in general, comment that down below, but I'm trying to stick to just Talk to Me in Korean in this video. The next thing that you need to consider is the different bases of language learning. So I have said speaking, reading, writing, listening, culture, grammar, vocabulary, and translation. You can go through all of those things with Talk to Me in Korean, but so far I've said listening, writing. You can read from the PDF document that comes with every class. But what about speaking? So when it comes to speaking, my poor sister, basically, this is my room, but our rooms are connected by a bathroom, so every morning she hears me listening to Talk to Me in Korean, and she'll hear 3 voices, like, what, who's the third voice? It's always me. I always talk along with the podcast, and whenever they're speaking, I like to pause and then say whatever they said at the same speed, because what I realize is when it comes to slow Korean, when it comes to dramatic K-dramas where they're being slow, I'm like, I can understand what you're saying, I can say it back, but when it comes to real life Korean conversations and like in fast Korean, I'm like, whoa guys, hold up a minute. And I think a great way actually to get more Korean into you is watching reality shows and variety shows, but we'll get to that. So we've covered speaking, we've also covered vocabulary, but the next thing you need to think about is the other bases. How are you going to do that? And as much as I love Talk to Me in Korean, and everyone on this platform will tell you Talk to Me in Korean is one of the best ways to learn Korean, the most efficient, it's so amazing, it makes sense, you need to consider having supplementary things. So listening to Korean music, watching Korean dramas, watching Korean films, reading webtoons, all of those different things are great ways to supplement Talk to Me in Korean, because you need to get as much input as you can if you're trying to get output. With that said, if you have any more questions or you yourself have your own tips, comment them down below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. As always, smile, subscribe, study hard, slay hard, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!